And Nora, in full transparency, I want you to know, from me to you, I truly believe that the best situation for you will be with an upright, righteous man who is willing to accept another wife into his family. Why do I say that? Shout out to the broke nigga in the chat talking about they need a tech guy. Like, he's basically saying hire a $60,000 a year employee, and motherfucker don't even support the show. That shit crazy.
That's wild.
That shit crazy. Okay, Nora, so let's get after it, love. First, would you mind standing up and giving us a 360 so we can see what we got going here?
Really? Oh.
And I'll tell you why I say that. Because you're asking about, are you for recreational use only, right? And if we're being honest, men are visual. Am I wrong?
Okay. I don't really feel comfortable doing that. Is that okay? Or
yeah, I mean, no, we're not forcing you. Like, you're not. I'm not trying to catch a hashtag me too. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. One of the reasons people are hard on single moms is because, number one, promiscuity. The reason you tend to get left by the man is because you didn't get to know the man before you laid down with him. So you did things out of order. And because you did things out of order and you might be promiscuous by nature, then the next guy coming in will be at great risk. And here's why. Every person, every human being wants their offspring in their life. So the idea is never that the man left the kids. The idea is that the man left the woman. So if he left you, either there's something wrong with you, or he never knew you, or he did get to know you and he didn't like what he found out. So when we say recreational, well, I guess that's your words. I ain't trying to get caught up with that.
No, you speaking facts.
When people say recreational use, it's really the idea that the only real value you probably have to offer that's a guaranteed value would be your body, because the other things we look for are absent. Because if they were there, he would have stayed with you.
okay.
Talk to us, Nora.
Well, I don't know how to. Was there a question? I don't know how to respond to that.
So Nora, your situation. Did you understand what he said though, or yes or no?
I did understand what he said.
Well, that's actually a good point. Maybe, Nora, if you be kind of explain back to us what I just explained to you, if you would.
Yeah.
I feel like, not I feel. What you did explain to me was that he didn't get to know me in enough time before he laid down with me, and that's why he left me. And I do understand that. However, he's still in his child's life. We're good friends, and I make sure that he stays in his life for the rest of his life. I'm not sure if that's something he should explain. I don't know. But I do understand your take that I just wasn't the woman that he wanted to live the rest of his life with. I do understand that.
Why did you decide to not use protection, get pregnant? So A, not use protection, B, get pregnant, and then C, carry the child to term. Why did you make that decision?
Well, I did carry the child to term. I didn't want to have an abortion. And at the time, my doctor said, at your age, this is the only time that you can probably have a baby. So, and you have a very low chance of having a baby after this. So I asked him, I told him, this is what's going to happen. Are you going to be in his life? He said, yes, I am. I laid down with you.
So for you, you knew you had basically made the mistake of holding off too long to have kids. And then you decided for your child to be that he would not have a whole family. He would come into a broken family automatically. And you did that because you were not responsible in your 20s to secure a mate who wanted to be with you. So you're basically like, look, nigga, this is my last chance. I'm doing it.
Well, yeah. Sad to say, yes.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah, that's real heavy. That's real heavy.
Sad to say, yes.
I want to explain something to you, Nora, just to give you the perspective of a logical thinking man. People really don't change. And your past history and how you acted with your last relationship and your poor decision making with, giving up your sexuality before even having a real relationship with the man, meaning like letting him have sex with you raw and he's there's no commitment. You get what I'm saying? So these past behaviors, this is why men, we say exactly what he explained. It's like, if you peel back the layer, the single mother, it's like, did she have a baby and the man didn't want her? Like she just got knocked up. And you did display characteristics of your past in that same way, meaning that you slept with the man, he only hit it, and you had a baby by him. Not only that, you just admitted that you were kind of like, you were kind of with it. You know what I mean? So with
I didn't want to have an abortion. I don't want to do that.
Not have an abortion, but yep. What I'm saying is that you're actually okay with his lifestyle. His lifestyle was XYZ. You said, okay, I'm interested in this lifestyle. So you were interested in it, and you really didn't get anything out of it besides some hard D, which is you were used for recreational use only. He literally chose another woman over you. You get what I'm saying? So now let's just move it forward.
Can I? You actually just brought out something that's fascinating, because she asked us, why would we say single moms are for recreational use?
Yes.
But she actually made herself for recreational use. Wow.
Yes. So now let's just fast forward, right? Currently, right now, you have a kid and you're a single mother. So we need to see currently how men are going to look at you as recreational use only currently. That's why he asked you to stand up, because men are visual creatures. But let's just get some reality of what type of man you're looking for. So let's go with height, race, and income. What's your preference?
I don't have any preference for height or.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
You're 5'10". You don't have a height preference. You're taller than most men.
Most of them.
Yeah, but I don't have a height preference.
You would date a guy that's 5'6"?
Yes, I have dated a guy that was.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. That means that your height standards aren't high. What about an income preference? What's the minimum amount that a man would have to make to be with you?
I would say I don't have a number. You just have to be able to be providing for yourself now. Like,
so he just has to be self-sufficient. So you're okay with the 50-50 relationship. He does for himself, you do for yourself, and you guys kind of come together and figure it out.
Yes.
Okay. She's, fairly understandable on the income. You got something?
Nora, you know what I think happened? And by the way, I think you're a good looking black woman.
Thank you.
I think you have a very pretty complexion, and I could see, in your prime, you were definitely probably something to knock down, but no, in a real way. But the real question for us, and I want to know if you're aware, what about you was causing men to not retain you? And I'm not talking about the last guy who got you pregnant. I'm talking about all the guys who skipped over you when you were 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31.
Time out.
32,
this nigga gave me a Scooby snack.
34. I want you to starve out here. My brother is love. That's all natural.
Appreciate you.
But and the reason I ask you this is because we're here to help young men, young women, to heal the people with this kind of a conversation, because you have a unique experience and knowledge that you can share. And I bet that your behavior today is different than it was a decade ago, that your knowledge of male-female relationships is different. So what behaviors do you think you were displaying over more than a 10-year period that made guys not want to hold on to you? Because one thing I know it wasn't your appearance. It wasn't your body. I can't even see your body, but I know that men are generally thirsty, sex-crazed animals. So it wasn't your appearance and it wasn't your body. So what was it?
Well, from age 17 to like 23, I was in a serious relationship. I believe it was how I would pick men. That's what I would say. But from 17 to 22, I was in a serious relationship and he was abusive. And I took a break, healed.
Okay, let's say when you were 17, how old was he?
He was 19.
Okay, all right, understood.
Yeah, he got abusive towards the end, and he started cheating on me. I I still was trying to be there for Tommy. But
okay, and you were what age when that one ended?
22, I think 22.
Okay.
Age 22. I took a break from dating. Then I got into another serious relationship, and we were dating for 6 years.
And this is prior to you having a kid, right?
Yeah, this is prior to me having a
Got
kid.
it.
Yeah. So then I got into another relationship after that. That was a 6-year relationship. We were engaged, and then he then got abusive towards the end, and he was cheating and lying. So that
Now
was
let me stop you there, and I want to say something that I hate to have to say out loud, but it's so true. Now, one thing I'm proud to say, I've never slapped fire from a chick in my life, except that one time when I was 16, and that was different. That was deserved. She threw a case on me, and there was a female judge, and they threw the case out. And then the judge asked me if I want to put charges on her. So that was a beautiful legal slap. You've never seen the pimp slapping be legalized. But anyways, here's one thing I know for sure, Nora, and I hate to have to say it, but I think that the deterioration of relations between man and woman are so bad that I have to say this, and it is true. I've never met a female who told me that she was in an abusive relationship, and after getting to know her, I was surprised. I find that consistently, if I meet a young lady and she says that a man that put his hands on her, after a few days of knowing her, I'm always like, aha, I see why. Which is not to say I would do it, because I've never done that. I've never been involved in domestic violence. But I say, I see why. Which is to say, you mentioned issues with picking men. I believe that. But also at a level, we say birds of a feather flock together, and we duplicate the dysfunction that is within us and search it out in those persons that we choose to deal with. And if you chose to deal with two people in long-term relationships and both of those males were abusive, there was some behavior that you were displaying, and there was something in your criteria that selected for that. Do you have any sense of what that might be?
No, I don't know. Actually, I really don't. If I did, I wouldn't have picked that one. But the last abusive relationship, he started using drugs, and that's why he became abusive.
No. People, if there's a story of so-and-so started drinking and then he became abusive, so-and-so started using drugs and then he became abusive. You ever heard of a heterosexual man start using drugs and then he becomes gay?
No. What?
Yeah, what he's saying is that people already have that nature in them to do that. They have that immorality in them to act out like that. So the alcohol didn't bring that. You could say maybe it amplified it a little bit for it to come out, but he already
didn't
had
put
that
it in there.
Yeah, didn't put it in there. He wasn't like he was already an abuser, and then the alcohol just was like, okay, hello.
Okay.
Yeah. So, question for you. So, you posed the question, am I recreational use only? And I want to get to that. So you went over your requirements of what you want in a man, your standards, and your standards are fairly low. How old are you currently again?
I'm 38.
You're 38 years old and you have just one kid.
One, yes.
And you have one kid. Will you accept the man that has kids?
Yes. Okay,
cool. So you've been dating and you can't find any man that has kids that you can build some chemistry with?
Okay. Yes, I have, but so I was dating a guy, and he let me know that, he liked me a lot, but he was in a state where he was not trusting of women. But he saw me a lot differently because he didn't see me as the women that he would see, in social media, I want you for your money. And so he saw me differently, but he still didn't have that trust with women. And I find a lot of men like that. They don't have the trust in women because they're afraid, oh, if I do get with her, she's going to take me from
he was scamming. He was scamming.
Huh?
He was scamming. What is your age, Cooley?
I'm 35.
35. Okay.
Yeah.
What age range of men are you looking for?
From my age to 45.
From your age to 45.
And what he meant by scamming, meaning that he was just telling you the
Yeah,
good
I
old
was like,
nothings.
what?
So here's the thing. The truth is you are recreational use only, and your entire life displays that you are recreational use only. We need to get you out of being just recreational use only. So this is why we're asking these like probing questions or questions to understand your background and your thinking and stuff like that and your standards. The good thing is that your standards aren't high, which means that you can find a man that would possibly even accept you and your child. But like he was saying before, when you accept an abuser, or if you accept an alcoholic, if you accept some type of person, you obviously accepted them because human beings were not that complex. We all tend to project what we have in the inside. We project out, and we like, okay, say if I don't cuss, drink, or smoke, or do any of that degenerate behavior. So the woman that I picked, she doesn't do any of that behavior. You get what I mean? So if you are doing bad things within, or not just say bad, if you have some vices within, you're obviously more prone to accept someone else that has those same similar vices. So what I say is you need to master self. You need to be the best version of yourself. Try to be the best you can be. And I would say if you try to be the best version of yourself and get rid of your vices, get rid of maybe you're impatient, right? Maybe that's something that you need to work on. Maybe you show too much masculinity traits. Maybe you need to tap into your femininity. So you need to try to elevate yourself on all levels and build up your femininity and your womanhood. So you can not just attract a man, because you're attracting men, but they're just smashing and leaving. You need to learn how to retain a man. You get what I'm saying? So this is why we're asking these questions to see really what we can help you out with.
Okay. I like that.
So I got two paths I want to go down with you. Path number one is understanding what you have to offer. And then path number two is to caution the young women and young men who are watching, such that they might be in better positions than all of us, than you, than Cooley and I. So on the first path of what do you have to offer? And I'll get more specific. I want to ask you generally. And if nothing comes to mind, then I can give you some specific leads and ask you some specific questions. But immediately that comes to mind, what would you say you have to offer a man?
I would say peace. I'm very supportive of my man, whatever he wants to do. I know that for sure. I listen. I actively listen.
How old is your son or your child?
He's 4. He just turned 4.
He's 4.
Yeah.
Quick question for you real quick. Say if you do find a man, right? And you build up some chemistry with this man, he has kids too or whatever. Would you be okay with that man fully being the head over you, where he can not only take care of things, but also discipline your kids? Would you be okay with that? You would be okay with a man disciplining your kid?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to see where your head was with all of that. Okay. You can proceed.
Let me interrupt you for a second. And it's only to move along the conversation to make sure that the things that you're saying are thought out.
Okay.
So, for example, when you say I can be a man's peace, well, ideally you encounter a man who's already at peace. So all you could do is interrupt peace. You can't add the peace because it's already there. All you can do is interrupt peace. And
I don't
often
want to
women,
interrupt nobody's peace. No.
hopefully not. Yeah, often women do. Have you ever been described as a complainer or a nagger as a woman?
No, I don't nag. I don't complain. I do overthink a lot. And when I do overthink, I kind of take that onto myself. I don't really.
Do you question a lot? Do you question what he's doing or why he's doing a certain thing? Oh, it looks like she kind of fell out of there. Okay, she's back. Pop her back in there.
Cool.
And Nora, the reason I phrase it like that is because one thing I've seen consistently with women, if every now and then I might say, hey, you're complaining. Like, you need to chill.
Yeah.
They'll say, I'm not complaining. I'm just asking questions. I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to figure this out. And for them, they may really believe that. But for me, it's complaining, and you're also extending conversations that need not be extended. So for you, have you ever had that dynamic in your communications with a man to where he expressed that the way you're communicating was suboptimal for him?
Yes, I had that before, and I stopped immediately because I'm glad he communicated that with me as well, so I can learn from that. I was friends with this guy. He was like, I would say he was teaching me some things because I wanted to get back out dating. And he was telling me what you're doing right there can be shown as you being very combative. And I was like, oh, I did not know that. So
you weren't dating the guy, you were friends with him?
no, he was kind of like mentoring me, like a dating mentor. Like that. So he was trying to.
Was he hired, or like how did you come to be involved with this guy?
No, he wasn't hired. He's just a friend.
A friend.
Yeah. I wasn't sleeping with him or anything like that.
Fair enough. No.
He just told me of what I should be doing because I was seeking out, some advice.
I think that the wise women who are rightly calibrated, you should look at a male friend in the same way that you would look at a male that you're sleeping with, which is to say, there is no logical reason for you to have a friendship with a male. And in fact, one thing I can tell you has taken women all the way out the game, and they have trouble accepting it and believing it. When I tell them like, oh, like male friends, no, that's a no-go.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any sincere female friends in as much as our fundamental interests are radically different. Like I was telling Cooley, I was like, bro, like, did you bring your workout stuff? He was like, nah. I was like, oh man, like probably could have got some sparring in. I don't know any women who want to spar with me. I don't know any women who want to watch MMA and see blood dripping all over people. I don't know any women who want to sit in silence. I don't know any women who want to build a tech company and discuss a stock portfolio. So the fundamental interests of male and female are generally different when you have a feminine woman and a masculine man. We come together for certain things, which are certainly based on our common attraction for one another. So the idea is if you're relating to a man as a friend, something is probably wrong in as much as either he has some feminine energy or you have some masculine energy. And there's a false idea that you're supposed to inhabit both. No, if you're a woman, you're feminine energy. That's all there needs to be. We don't need to balance nothing. The man is the balance to your feminine energy. And this is the second time we've mentioned a male friend. The guy who got you pregnant was introduced to you by a male friend. And so that probably
maybe I should stop using the word friend.
Well, if you weren't sleeping with him and he's not in your family, well, why do you have these male associates all the same? And you might say like, whoa, Marquett, that's a bit extreme, but we don't want to play the language game. It's not like name it a different thing. It's stop the behavior, which is to say there shouldn't be any male hangers on, any males lingering around. And also what's worse is you don't actually know, and I'm not speaking anything onto the guy. I'm just giving a possibility for everyone watching. You don't know if, say, I was the male friend, right? And I say, Cooley, bro, I got this little thing for you, man. Like I ain't touched her, but you might as well, you might as well see what's going on. Like it'll definitely be a layup for you. And then I make the introduction. You don't know what I said and you don't know what my intentions were. And one thing you should never trust is why doesn't the guy who introduced you want you?
That's facts.
Oh, well.
So pretty much what did you get from what he just said? Like, what did you understand?
Well, bottom line, don't have male friends. That's what the bottom line is.
If you pick that up, that's a good start.
That's a good start. That's a good start. But even if you let's go back to the first guy that introduced you to now, which is your baby father. He pretty much is saying that that male friend that you had, he set it up. It was a layup. It was a possible layup.
Well, that guy, he was dating my other friend. So
that's definitely what it was then.
Yeah.
That's just confirmed.
Yeah, the other guy was dating my friend, and they came over, and he was like, "Oh, I got somebody for you," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not really like into that." He was like, "No, trust me," and then he brought.
Question: did your baby father? Did he want the child? Did he want an abortion?
No, he wanted the child.
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yes.
Like meaning that he knew that the potential of having unprotected sex was like, oh yeah, girl, I'm gonna give you this baby.
Yes.
That's hard to believe.
That is hard to believe.
Very hard to believe.
Because the reason why it's hard to believe is because you said that he left you, right? So like he left you so
during
like
pregnancy though.
during pregnancy. So
That's
it's
crazy.
Well, we were not in a committed relationship during pregnancy. We decided it's not going to work because he was with this woman, and I really don't want to discuss.
Yeah, you want to put his business out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't,
yeah, that's fine.
Don't out of respect for him, because he is the father of my child, and I do respect him a lot. And he came around. He made sure I was good during my whole entire pregnancy, everything, and he's still a great father.
Okay, fair enough. So, I mean,
and he's not on child support. I don't put him on child. I'm not that lady. I don't do that stuff.
Got you.
Great father. He is in his life. Oh, I want to pick him up. I want to take. No problem. I don't even.
Nora, let me propose a question for you then. So you've heard two men give you the truth about the reality of your past life and your current life and your potential future life, right? The potential future life right now for you to not be recreational use only for a man is looking still slim. So, but it's still a possibility that, you can still meet a man and he could be a good man and you can have some good chemistry and, you guys can make something real out of that and you won't be recreational use only, meaning that it's long term. What do you think? So my question is, what do you think that you need to do better in order to get the man that you want and to retain the man? You let us know what you've already been doing and it didn't work. So now you just heard us speak. What do you think that you can do better to get the results that you want?
I'm really not sure. I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair. And I believe her.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I
truly
believe
believe you. Do you know how to cook?
Yes.
You're a great cook.
Yes.
Would you cook your man 3 meals a day?
Yes, of course.
Okay, fantastic. What wouldn't you do for your man? Like, is there anything that's like, where you're like, nah, I'm out?
A threesome.
Okay. Would you let your man have another woman that's separate from you? Meaning like the poly situation you described before?
No.
Okay, why wouldn't you do that?
Because I went through that and I didn't, as you can see, it wasn't a good thing.
Have you also been through monogamous relationships before that didn't work?
Yes, those are the ones I spoke about already.
Great. Okay. The reason I say that is because you're allowing your emotions to overwhelm your reason. You're saying, I wouldn't go into a polygynous situation because a polygynous situation didn't work. You've also been in 2 monogamous situations that also did not work. The reason that I say that to you is because my hope for every woman, especially a woman with a child, is that you wouldn't die alone. You wouldn't have no one to visit you in your old age. You wouldn't be lonely once that child, reaches a maturity and moves out. And the truth of the matter is, the man that you actually should want, if you had standards, the man that you should want is valuable. And because he's valuable, he's not single. Do you understand that part? Like, if he wasn't valuable, he'd be single, but he is valuable. That's why he's not single. And you might say, well, Marquett, I'm valuable and I'm single, but you can't compare apple to apple because, for example, do you think I would date you? Respectfully, like, do you think I would date you?
No.
Why is that?
Well, I watched a lot of your videos and
okay. Why not?
I believe what Cooley says, you would probably only use me for recreational use.
I would try. I've been trying to say, I think you should avoid using single moms for recreational use. If I still want to use women with no kids for recreational use. Like, if it got to happen,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Okay.
Let's say that you don't have any kids. So remove the children. Would I be with you? Would I not be with you?
I would hope you would be with me. I would give you peace. I would cook you 3 meals a day.
Sounds beautiful.
Make sure you have peace. I would support you in your business endeavors.
Okay. And in terms of making love, are there any expectations? Like, what if I'm like not good at it? I'm brief, not super good at it, not very passionate.
That's a learning thing. That's things you
can but learn. I don't want to learn and I don't want to get better at it. It's just basically an experience of
whatever you got, you gonna get.
Right.
Well, I use it. Take it. Like
okay. So it's cool. No complaints. We can. Okay. I like that. That's a very good attitude. So this attitude that you have today, I absolutely love it. It sounds very good. If you could actually execute on that, and you know what I would love to do? I don't want to put the city that you're in. I'd love to test her on this. I really
Okay.
would. You know what I am doing, Nora, because I really want women to experience what it's like to actually be with a provider. They say they want a provider, but they think that it's all that you get to take and take and take from
And
the
no give,
provider.
and no
There's no give. So we're going to have something called Are You Woman Enough? And you'll come spend a day. I'll pay for everything. You'll come to my place. We'll go through all of the motions and we'll interview you section by section to see if you really can do that, if that actually is a life you can live and enjoy. Because a lot of women, they talk about a provider. They've never seen one. They never experienced one in the father. They never seen one in the husband of their mother. They're guessing. They don't know what it actually makes sense. And also, if a guy really can be a provider, meaning he's a high earner, he's a high level man, he also has high standards. Even my mother, my mother's a lovely woman. She came to visit recently, and my mother just started cleaning up stuff, which I like.
Yeah.
Because I need that in my life. You hear me?
Yeah.
She'll just start cleaning up stuff. And it's challenging because there's a lot to clean. Not that the place is not clean. The place is clean. It's just 7 bedrooms, 7.5 bathrooms. It's just a lot of space. So she had cleaned the master like shower thing, tub thing. And I went in there and I was like, hey, moms, I was like, yo, like respectfully, like you missed the spot. You hear me? Like respectfully, like you were not thorough. And my mother, in full disclosure, like yourself, my mother, like yourself, she got pregnant earlier and had 2 kids, but she did not maintain a relationship over time. And I think it's because her standards and how she delivers to a man are not where they need to be. So I welcome you, Nora. I don't know where you are, and you can DM me on IG offline if you want to come. I will take you up on the opportunity. I will bring you out here. We'll spend the day. We'll go through all of it. And I want to see how you feel and see what you can really do. Because one thing I know is being an employer, everybody sound good on a job interview.
They do, man. They
They sound
I
good.
like that.
Yeah.
Are you woman enough? I like that.
Are you
man.
woman enough? I
like
appreciate
that.
that.
Are
Yeah.
you woman? That's cool.
Absolutely. Now, if you could give some advice to a younger woman to say, hey, prioritize this, do this, don't do this, so that you don't end up in the situation that I'm in right now. And I'll tell you what I find wrong with your situation. Number one, that you had children too late. So your first child was way too late in life, just age wise. And I think if we can just stick with that, that'd be good enough.
Yeah, that was a red flag already because you've already like diminished your value was already down, right? So most guys are already only looking at you as a sex option anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, right. I would say we can end it right there. That's bad start.
Good enough.
Because
Yeah.
you were 34 then, because he's 4 years old. So you were 34 when you had your first kid.
Right.
Yeah, you were 1 year away from high risk pregnancy.
No, she was already in high risk pregnancy. That's a geriatric pregnancy. 34.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a geriatric pregnancy.
It's already
Yeah.
high risk.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you give to young women if you're saying like, hey, if you wanted to do it right, this is what you should be prioritized on. This is what you do need to accept. And then this is what you should avoid.
1, don't be combative with a man. Listen. The word submissive should not be scary to you. It doesn't mean he is going to lead you down into a ditch or down into a fiery hole. You learn from a man. That entirely you need to learn from a man. So be respectful. Be respectful is number 1 for me, because I respect men. I have both my parents in my life, and I respect my dad.
But we're saying, what didn't you do? Because you're talking about the things you believe in and the things you did do. Are these things you did not do in your prime or what? Or were you being a promiscuous woman when you were 21,
No,
22, 23, 24?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. I was in
Okay.
2 serious relationships, and
Okay.
after those 2 serious relationships, I was single for quite some time.
Yeah, she did say one of the relationships like 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was 2 of
That
them.
doesn't mean she never cheated.
That don't.
You
Yeah,
ever
that don't
cheated
mean-
before?
I-
I said, have you ever cheated?
No.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you give a woman to say to keep her out of the situation you're in today?
This is number 1. Do not put your career before your love interest, because you're going to find yourself like me. You have a beautiful career, and then now you're looking for a man, and you're at the low end of the totem pole.
Wow. That's
That
I
That's
appreciate
exactly
that.
what we always speak about too. Women putting their career first before a family, man.
I don't even really tell, because some folks will say, "Oh, stay on your purpose, fellas. Like, forget women. Get rich first." I say, nope. Hustle your butt off, and then you still have some time to dedicate to women because you're a whole human being. You hear me? Like,
try to prioritize it, and you would have to try to prioritize it.
Oh yeah, the money comes first. Absolutely. The money comes first. It's 80-20, but we're not gonna have the females on zero. You heard me?
The difference is
exactly.
It's okay for a man. Like he was given like manly advice. For a man, that's fine, but you're a woman. So men's value, we have value over a long period of time if we actually earn that value. It's like this. The woman's job, you're already born with your sexual value. So your job is to preserve your sexual value for the right man. The man, he normally we start off with like zero sexual value. We have to work and accomplish some things. And when we earn that value lasts a long time from a biological standpoint as well. So I think what we're saying here is that, and what we want you to understand is that the truth is that the kicker is that you started too late. You prioritize your career over a family. And it's good that you noticed that. And it's good that that's the advice that you would tell the woman, because I think a lot of women should know that truth, that you got a clock and it's ticking.
And that career don't keep you warm at night.
It don't.
Like that career don't keep you warm.
It's wintertime. And winter is here.
I would even tell these dudes out here, if I could pick at 40 to have millions in the bank or to have true love, I would take true love.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I take true love because
very interesting to know.
Absolutely. And I'm good. You dig? I'm good. And I say this as someone who's been very poor and well off. I would take true love because there's a time limit on true love. And there's diminishing opportunity as time goes on for a woman, especially, but even for a man, which is to say, if I'm 35, 40, 45, as that time goes on, all of the women that have the best qualities, they already got 2 kids, 3 kids, they're married, they've had so much experience.
Yeah.
The only one that's available for you are the leftovers that you really don't want. So you're not going to really be able to get true love. And you probably won't get the woman that truly loves you. You get the woman that's settling for you. Maybe she loves the guy who got her pregnant.
Yeah.
The first baby daddy.
Or whoever else.
Exactly. So I take true love because it's so hard to find. After you find true love and you broke, you can still go out and make a couple $1 million.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
And the opportunity is not only easier, it's easier as time goes on. The opportunity to find true love diminishes with time. The opportunity to make more money increases with time because you're adding value, you're adding skill set, knowledge, and network, right? And that's one thing people don't understand. You have a lot of people on the internet who are either broke or soulless. The broke people giving bad advice because they just don't know. And the other people are soulless. They have no soul and they don't know what's important in life. But one thing that I like that you said is don't prioritize that career. Is there anything else you think was a major error that led you to where we are today?
Hold on. My son just came in the room.
Sure.
Sorry. Be like you just said, have value. Value is not monetary. Value is being supportive to your man. You have to do that. I know like women be like, I don't want to get him $600, but you have to support the dream because a man's dream is going to build. Hold on.
Sure.
And you know what?
I'd actually forgot about that. She had a kid because she can't even come and do Woman Enough.
Probably not. Yeah. Probably not. And I like what you said about it's you would choose love, falling in love over the money, all the $1 million, right?
Absolutely.
And if you peel back the logical entailment of that is that it's actually more difficult to find true love is because the more experiences that both parties have, both of the sexes,
right, especially the female,
it's hard to actually really bond with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes perfectly sense. So I hope even the chat learned something from that.
Yeah, I hope they do. Okay. I doubt they will because when you're broke, the hardest thing in the world, you think it's making $1 million. But what you don't realize is actually harder to get the true love.
That's facts.
Yes.
I'm listening to you, love. Mine's like Parachutes writes, she said, quote, he didn't get to know me, end quote.
You protect the gate.
Which would mean that maybe it could have been stated as I didn't get to know him.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's not that he didn't get to know you. It's that you didn't get to know him. You protect the gate. You effed up.
I agree with that.
And the crazy thing is they'll protect the gate against the wrong guy.
Yeah.
That's the wild. And, it's because they hate the truth. Just like she was saying, like, oh, you're saying it like that. No, we're saying it like what it is.
Facts.
The problem is that women can't deal with the truth. And as a result of not being able to deal with the truth, the honest man is the one you sweep aside in favor of the liar and the jester. And you favor the guy who tells you sweet lies, comforting lies. And that is why you find out eventually that the relationship and the bond itself is a lie. And that's why you end up alone.
Hey, Nora, let me ask you a question. Did you come from a single mother home?
No.
Okay, so your father was there too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, throughout the entire, your entire childhood and stuff like that. Did you have siblings, brothers and stuff?
I have an older brother and I'm the youngest of three. So I have an older brother and an older sister.
Older brother and your older sister. Okay. And for your your childhood upbringing and how your mother and father raised you, they wanted you to focus on career first over family?
Yeah, they wanted me to focus on education and my career, yes.
Wait, who said that?
The family, her
That's
family.
crazy. They misguided you. That's evil.
What happens is that, that's the feminism mindset.
That's
and
actual
the
evil.
Democrat mindset. Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. And Nora, in full transparency, I want you to know from me to you, I truly believe that the best situation for you will be with an upright, righteous man who is willing to accept another wife into his family. Why do I say that? At your age, if he is a good man, he would already have a woman and possibly kids. There are no single men at your age who are also good men. It just doesn't make sense. Women sometimes will come on the podcast and say, Marquett, are you single? Of course not. How could I possibly be? Of course not.
Do you believe that there's an uprising of men that do not trust women now because they see these women wanting, I just want men for their money. I want men because they're 6 feet tall, 6-inch dick, 6 this. I see a lot of uprising of men like that. And when they come across any type of woman, they don't trust them. It's like I would rather be alone than to be risky with you. And
those men are making the same kind of excuses that women make. Every time I hear a woman say oh, I'm taking time to heal. You're not taking time to heal. You got out of a bad relationship and you've yet to find something more interesting. You're in between jobs, essentially. You're not taking time to heal. These are excuses. Every human being wants love, wants someone to have intercourse with, wants someone to be there for them. I don't trust women. That might be the excuse they use to not get into a committed relationship with you. And if the case is that they're actually that traumatized, then they're really not a man. You hear me? Because life promises you challenges, bumps, and bruises. And furthermore, if it's a man of great value, he's gotten his pick of women. And guess what? When he's of great value, the women going to treat him how he wants. He going to have it his way. I promise you that. People call me for advice all the time on consultations. Oh, shorty did this, shorty did that. I'm like, word? I'm appalled. That would never happen to me. Why? Because they're going to come in with some act right when they're dealing with me. Why? Because they're scared to lose me. They'll even behave as a woman that they are not. I don't drink. When we go out to dinner, great restaurant, beautiful wine selection, all of a sudden they don't drink.
They shaking up, trying not to drink.
Yeah, they're going to pretend to be what I want. So the fact of the matter is the guys who say they don't trust women, they got done dirty by those women. Why did they get done dirty? Because the women did not really value them. Huh? And then on the other side, the women who get done dirty. Why did they get done dirty? Because the guy didn't really value you.
That's fact. And the other side of that coin, not even another side, but another coin itself, because that coin was perfect. But another coin is that men are starting to wake up and they're starting to have standards. They're starting to understand their value. And when a man understands his value, his standards increase. And when his standards increase, Normally, a lot of chicks just don't qualify, and they only qualify, which is the famous word right now, recreational use only. And they'll sell you a dream too. They'll sell you a dream. They'll tell you all the sweet good nothings, and bro, niggas lie. That's what you got to realize.
And listen to me, love. I'm keeping it a bean with you. We're not super far off in age, you and I. I'm younger, but I'm not a ton younger than you are. But the age range of the women that I'm dating are a ton younger than you are. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're a ton younger. And when I date women that are much younger than you are, I'm taking the cream of the crop. You hear me? I'm not scraping that bottom of that. I'm skimming off the top. You dig? So if the guy that you would want that's in your age range and is valuable, the likelihood of him being single is just so extraordinarily low. That's why I'm saying you could get a guy who's single, but think about it with the old parking space metaphor. The parking spaces that are open are the ones no one wanted, or the handicap spaces.
Yeah.
Right? Like those are the ones that are open. So you got to figure out how to carpool in this mug. You heard me? You got to carpool, baby.
Double parking.
Yes, indeed. You got to carpool. But the thing is, at your age, you have to start looking at the game differently and saying, this is not the first quarter. This is the fourth quarter. It's not the morning. It's the evening. If I'm going to make the next 20 years better than the last 20, would I rather have interest in a guy who might have another wife, but he's a damn good man, or a guy that is questionable? For example, every morning I trade stock and I lead people in financial literacy. We buy companies every morning. I don't have to own 100% of Apple. I don't have to own 100% of Tesla. Give me 3%. That's a tremendous amount of value. I'd rather have 3% in a strong company than 100% of a bad company. And you women are so good at getting 100% of a bad company. And any man who would let you dominate him is probably a weak man. And he's also probably lying because he got a side girl anyways. You said you got cheated on 2 times, but you still didn't learn. Those were 2 long-term relationships. You got cheated on twice. So you're still going to do the same situation. You're in a pattern. Instead of saying, let me find a man who's going to tell me the truth. You've already removed a big problem. There is no cheating. He's going to tell you the truth. And the fact that he got another woman and you, that lets you know he clearly got some value. Both of y'all ain't going to be there if he ain't got no value.
Okay.
It's a fact.
I'm just trying to spread this ism out here, man.
That's a fact.
We're going to spread this ism through whatever means necessary. The ism getting aggressive out here.
And Nora, I really hope that you take something from this. Maybe watch it back a few times and, reflect on it.